Hello, everybody. Welcome to Talent Playbook, the HR podcast for and by the HR leaders. Today, we are on episode 8, and we have with us Deepti Duggal, the HR leader and the HR director from Intel Corporation. She has spent her 11 years in Intel, has been around different functions and setting up as well as, excelling in the different functions of HR in Intel. So welcome, Deepti, to the podcast.
Thank you so much, Sudeshna. And yeah, I just loved your kickoff for the HR and by HR. So all excited and geared up for it.
As we were talking, we are seeing so much noise around, so much changes and technology going on, and the improved technology advancements and AI is kind of there is so much noise around that. But as a HR leader, from the viewpoint of a workplace, from the viewpoint of talent, what do you see as trends for 2026?
Absolutely. And, I think as we kind of chase through the noise, and I would say a very good distraction from HR is, how are we integrating the entire aspect of holistic talent management or talent development, right? It's no more really about those fixed hierarchies. It's no more really about, spending X years to get to a certain level. It is really about adaptability, agility in whatever employees, managers, leaders are able to kind of pave path for themselves, their teams, and viewing development in a more holistic fashion. So I think for me, that's really the big theme that I believe 2026 and onwards would come in. We're also underestimating the power of gig economy, of gig culture. Today, you talk to Gen Zs, you talk to even, end millennials, they want to be everything. They want to be many professionals. They want to play many roles. So rather than restricting people in their boundaries or hierarchies, today, I think it's the time of, hey, do I have a lens which is broader? Can I integrate multiple things? And can I be many things? And why just restrict to being, in just one role? So I just feel that even, as we begin 2026 and beyond is the years of, enabling that gig culture even at workplaces, with more solid structures and so on and so forth.
So in doing so, what we have been doing and what we will be doing, we are making a huge shift. We are changing. So as we are kind of talking, as you said, the development, the way we approach development, the way we approach the gig economy, the way Gen Zs or millennials like to be treated. So it's a lot of change we are addressing. So how in your organization you are addressing this?
Absolutely. I think for any change to kind of get materialized, I think there's a basic foundation of intent and will, and then there is a layer of time, then there is a layer of endorsements from the leadership, right? And I think an HR alone today, yes, we were talking earlier that, hey, it's HR leading because what's constant is people. Absolutely, yes. But I think a lot of those, enablement or, being the catalyst is where HR can play a role. But I think the change has to come from every level. And I think I just take pride in the fact that as HRs or, somebody who sees, different dimensions of people, workflows, I think it's our moral responsibility to ensure that, we are not just modeling, but, also creating workflows that enables. And then those workflows turn into behaviors. And those behaviors then form habits. And then it becomes like a DNA of the organization. Long, back, for us, 10 years back, Intel would track, numbers of diversity, are we promoting, are we hiring? But, today it's become a DNA. We don't have to keep reminding. So I just feel that, any change becomes a DNA when the change is successful. And absolutely, we must give it the layering of or foundation of time and investment and the right role modeling from right levels.
how are learning journeys getting affected? How has learning changed, and how do you see it changing further?
Yeah. For culture, I kind of started from a foundation, but I think for me, learning starts from the strategy of the organization. The whole world is shifting on AI. No one's going to miss the bus, right? So strategy is kind of, getting more morphed into what are our skills that are required. Some skills from past are coming and surfacing up. Some skills are new, age, which are totally different. And that's how, things are distilling. So strategy leads to skills. The skills are leading to, what practices of learning we need to institutionalize. For me, it's all a workflow at the end of it, right? And a learning has to go hand in hand with the organization strategy. And I think for us, it's very evident that, with the kind of practices we are trying to imbibe, the goodness we are trying to imbibe by not restricting learning through courses, through classroom trainings, but maybe module-based learning. The short, the short attention span, picking it and burst learning potentially, right? Giving people their own path, encouraging those customized learnings. And I think Intel as an organization too has invested in some of those, theories and practices in the play. But at the same time, I think today there is, prompts that will help you learn, right? How are we modernizing and leveraging the co-pilots or, the other tools that organizations are willing to integrate and make use of that for learning? Because the concept of on-the-job learning is going to shift through, hey, is that prompt learning, right? I'm stuck here. How do I go about fixing this, right? And then you get into a different sphere and arena of what all you can learn from here, right? And it kind of also suits to my other vision of, that gig culture that is slowly seeping in. If you are interested in something, go learn. The road or the path you can pave for yourself. And I think that's the encouragement we want to make. We are also thinking of maybe more traditional ways of rotations. And, earlier those rotations would just come through internal job, movements, etc. But why don't we make those intentional so that people go learn, different functions and become more holistic and well-rounded individuals? So yeah, I think some of those practices won't change.
Now a little bit about Deepti. So what do you think is the one must-have skill for leaders now?
I just feel, functional skills, you have AI and, the setup that will always substitute. But I just feel hardcore experience and resilience to get things done is a skill, which leaders or no one should replace for any amount of technology that comes in.
One skill you are betting on for your organization?
We come from a semicon, AI for sure, productivity, efficiency, staying ahead of the game. Absolutely. That is irreplaceable. Yeah.
Absolutely. One best practice likely to become obsolete?
One best practice in HR, essentially that will go obsolete is, formalized organizational structures. I think we're moving very fast into a hybrid pace of, building maybe more fluid teams and getting things done. I think we have to start adapting to that.
At one point of time, we used to talk about holacracy as something which allowed this kind of a thing. And I think that time we said it was not ready for India and we didn't take up the product. So now what you are saying is kind of we are moving to that, I guess. Yeah. And your biggest time waster?
Hate to admit it, but social media.
Yeah, it cannot be we can't give it up, but yeah, it does sometimes feel like, like I'm looking at this.
But I think how you turn those also, right? And today, I mean, again, thanks to, the AI, that's seeping into our everyday lives, there's so much more you can do out of it, right? So I'm pretty, it's okay. There's entertainment and then there is infotainment. So
yeah. Yes.
It's really about what you consume.
Yeah. One start doing, I think I can't do away with the start-stop continue phrase. So yeah, one thing people leaders should start doing or stop doing.
I think people leaders should absolutely, start. Sorry, I may have to do a retake here.
No problem.
But people leaders, people leaders, should absolutely start, listening more. Right, and I don't mean it in a wrong way, but I think listening to different dimensions of how things can be done, how you can think differently, and especially with the generation just very rapidly moving, right? So I think we have to keep our ears open, with what customer is saying, what our people are saying, and then maybe take a well-rounded decision. And I think they should continue to take hard calls. I can't underestimate, how leaders need to be resilient. And most of the leaders, I see, and the good leaders are not shying away from taking hard calls. So I think that's one attribute leadership needs to continue in the times to come.
Absolutely. It's no longer playing popular, right? You need to do, and now is the time, like, a lot of right things have to be done by the leaders to get to they get the organization where they would like to take. How would you like to round up this with a piece of advice to your fellow HR leaders?
I think for me, I just wanted to round off with the fact that, we can't take the essence out of learning, talent development, talent management, whatever generations come into workplace. I think as HR, it is our, again, moral responsibility to weave a culture where people thrive, they learn, they go out shining, even if we have to let go of a talent to another company or to a different department. So I think it's no more about holding the talent and managing your indicators just with attrition, but hey, did you create future leaders? Hey, did you invest in people, and today they are making a difference in the community or society? And again, it's the power when you have people empowering each other and then continuing to pay forward. So I think as HR leaders, we play a big role in creating and weaving that culture together.
I've been working with HR leaders for the last now, like Marg will be in the 20th year of business, but it like every time I have a conversation with the HR leader, I have so much to take away. And today also I am taking away quite a bit from this conversation for sure. And the role we talk about enablement, but in this conversation I'm taking out what enablement really looks like and what shape in which you are kind of want to leave your employees as more like, we used to say this, that in our organization we try to do things like able to leave and willing to stay. So create that kind of culture that it is and you are like you are saying those things that make it sure that whether it's staying with us or not, how are you able to make them as future leaders? And give them every ways to enable them, be that catalyst. So and after that, you may become invisible, but the entire setup has been kind of driven by you, I think. Thank you so much for this, Deepti. This was wonderful, and thank you for spending this time with us.
Thank you for all the thought provocation.